Alright, everyone. Angry Karens reacting to life sentences. Let's check it out.
You're welcome to the Chula Vista Superior Court, where Judge Patricia Garcia presides over Darla Jackson's trial, a 25-year-old woman who chased down and ran over a U.S. sailor in a road rage incident. He sustained severe injuries and was later pronounced.
Don't see sailors even being mentioned on the news that much. But there's that.
Dead at the hospital. Darla Jackson was charged in court with the first-degree murder of 39-year-old Navy Chief Petty Officer Zach Boo.
Dang, Navy as well, guys? Navy.
Darla Jackson was seen in court with her head.
Why is she a Karen, though, guys? She was a hit and run. It was a hit and run. Guys, she's allowed to have that piercing, though? That's a piercing, right? That's not like a freaking paint chip or anything. She got a piercing on in jail, guys.
Head bowed and in tears as she was arraigned.
Hey, I hope he as well, guys.
She continued to
She might not have known the law,
shake and cry as the
but still, like, you know, you're not going out and checking who it is, bro. You're just trying to, like, attempted murder, man.
proceedings continued. Darla said that she deeply regretted everything that had happened and that it ended badly for everyone involved. The mother of one was riding a Nissan.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro. There's what in what world does this have a good like outcome, guys? Nowhere, guys, nowhere. Be right back. I'm gonna let my dogs out.
Altima when she was involved in an altercation with Zach Buo, who was on a motorcycle. After making hand gestures at her and kicking the side of her car, Darla began to chase him down and eventually hit him
Dang, bro. Passionate murderer.
from behind at top speed. She said she never meant to harm him and only wanted to get his plate number details, but some
Yeah, going top speed and hitting somebody with their car is not wanting to harm them. Such a foolish thing to do, man.
eyewitnesses believed that it was interesting. However, her
Guys, I had an outburst like this when I was around her age. And I'm glad it wasn't a super bad outburst, guys, because I would be in jail, man, or something, guys. If I was sillier, guys, you know what I mean? If I was just straight up more dumb, bro. Like, I'm so happy, guys. I miss a prison. I miss a prison. I'm so happy.
defense attorney, Stephen Klein, begged to differ. He said,
She's very sorry. She's very scared. She's very upset. She's very traumatized.
at the accident scene, several cars stopped along the freeway to assess the damage caused and assist the victim, even as first responders attended to Zach in an attempt to save his life. Eyewitnesses confirmed that Darla had been chasing down the victim, who was riding ahead on a motorcycle before the fatal crash occurred.
Wow.
This video clip from a
Guys, this would have never happened if he didn't have a motorcycle, guys. Yeah, this is definitely a Karen moment.
passenger's cell phone taken minutes before the crash confirmed the eyewitness accounts. Darla was in hot pursuit of the motorcycle before crashing into it from behind.
How would you describe the
Video evidence as well. What a cold, like, psychotic thing to do.
behavior of the Ultima in your perception?
Pretty aggressive.
And was that from the beginning to the end or just at certain points?
Yeah, from the beginning to the end.
A witness at the scene of the incident was questioned and gave his testimony in court. This is what he had to say.
Somebody came over and was holding his head. Somebody was holding a wound on his leg. And then they said he stopped breathing. So somebody started CPR. I guess I would call it a little hysterical. She was saying, I didn't mean to do this, and I was just trying to get his information.
Meanwhile, a throng
Dang, bro. Like a 2-3 minute interaction gets her like life in jail, bro. Or at least, I'd say at least like maybe 15 years, 10 years.
motorcycle riders were present outside the courtroom as they protested the incident and called for justice
Dang, bro. National attention, it seems, just for this, guys.
to be served for Zach Boob. The family of Zach Boob also spoke passionately about their lost loved one and asked that the court mete out the maximum sentence for the crime. After the sentencing, Zach's father later commented,
Guys, if something like this happened to your family, would you seek out the maximum penalty? Let me know in the comments below.
that he did not believe justice had been served. As the judge read out the sentence of 6 years, Darla Jackson erupted in tears.
Wow.
She sobbed loudly, shaking and bending
Guys, less than I thought. Guys, less than I thought.
over as the sentence
I mean, she is young, guys.
was read. The judge said there wasn't enough evidence to prove that she had run Zach over deliberately, but believed that she still deserved to spend some time in prison for her actions. She was sentenced to 6 years in a women's correctional facility.
Sheesh, bro. That's a good portion of life, man. That's depressing, bro. She's gonna come out totally different, probably like hardened and stuff. It's up to her to do what she does after, you know, to make her life better after prison, guys. That's she could like start a TikTok and, you know, talk about her stories. I don't know.
Welcome to the Arapahoe County Court, where District Attorney George Brauchler presides over Isabella Guzman's trial, the 18-year-old teenager who went viral on TikTok for killing her mother. Isabella Guzman was charged in court with the first-degree
Oh my gosh, look at this picture. She looks like 10 years old. OMG.
murder of her mother.
Is this AI generated?
47-year-old Yun Mihoy. Isabella Guzman's court videos sent chills down the spines of many, as she often looked directly into the camera, making weird gesticulations and smiling occasionally. Yet she surprisingly gained popularity on TikTok, with myriads of people following her account and claiming that she must have committed the crime because of something terrible that was done to her. Her story, trailing from childhood, however, does not justify her viciously stabbing her mother, leaving over 70 stab wounds.
Yeah, I never thought about doing that, guys.
Investigators continue to look into the matter, questioning her intensively, but reportedly getting exasperated by her elusive behavior. She continued to deny that she was the one who had committed the crime or that she killed her mother.
Can't be happening to me right now. This can't be happening.
Like she got a little bit of arrogance with her or something, guys. I don't know. We just don't know the full story. We're gonna have to see when she makes TikToks when she gets out, guys. Who knows if she even decides to do that.
It
is.
I never killed anybody.
You killed your mom last night.
No, I did not.
In court, she put forward a plea of insanity, represented by her attorneys, claiming that she thought she was killing some other woman and saving the world. Isabella said she had no idea that the woman she had stabbed several
Saving the world? Oh snap, bro. Guys, I had insanity moments like that, but thankfully I did get arrested pretty badly for something similar, but I never hurt anyone, guys. Never.
times.
I made it my mission to never actually go out and like assault someone or hurt someone. And I've lived up to it pretty well.
Was, in fact, her own mother. Of course, this claim came off as preposterous to many, especially Ryan Hoy, who was married to Yun Mi Hoy at the time of the incident. He said that there had been several instances in which Isabella threatened her mother, and that they often had altercations and arguments. Just a day before the incident, she had
She probably just like, you know, got into like the dark side of TikTok and thought it was cool or something.
written a note to her mom saying, "You will pay." Ryan recalled the events of that night in an interview. He described the events preceding that night.
Look at him, he's actually distraught. Let's see what this girl did, man.
Also how that night played out.
She came down to the basement last night and said that she was afraid of Isabella. She said that Isabella had threatened her or cursed at her and spit in her face.
Okay.
When she was laying down up there. Isabella was in the bathroom.
Dang, bro, I had a phase like this and I'm so glad I changed it, guys. Please don't act like this.
She, like I said, she was pushing against the door as I was trying to open it. I tried to open it.
Okay.
And Isabella was pushing hard against it.
Ryan was in the living room when he heard his wife's terrifying screams. She had told him she was going upstairs to take a shower, but unfortunately, that would be the last time he would see her alive. By the time he got upstairs, there was blood running from under the door, and he ran downstairs
No, what the heck?
to call 911 responders for help. Isabella had
How sad, bro. How sad, bro. Your own family? Wow.
stabbed her mother 48 times in the neck and 31 times in the face. Ryan said when Isabella eventually opened the door, she simply walked past him like he wasn't there. His wife was lying on the floor, covered in blood, and she wasn't breathing. Meanwhile, a recent video shows Isabella saying that she committed the crime due to mental illness.
I was not myself when I did that, and I have since been restored to full health.
As the judge
It still hurt someone's life, some lives permanently, guys, like that guy. You know what I mean? That guy was taking care of you, taking, like, you know, being in a relationship with a mom and stuff. Like, wow, so sad.
Judge read out Isabella's sentencing. She continued to look around strangely before staring into the camera and pointing towards her eyes. District Attorney George Brauchler said, "We punish people who make decisions to do wrong when they knew better, and they could have done something differently. And in this particular case, I am convinced, based on the evidence that I've seen and the information that's been presented in court, that this woman did not know right from wrong, and she could not have acted differently than she did, given the significant schizophrenia and paranoid delusions, audible visual hallucinations that she was going through."
Guys, I actually had a similar case, guys. When I got my felony, man. Because I didn't want to do it, man. It's just legit something similar, but I didn't do something horrendous.
I was convinced of it, and I felt like in the interest of justice, I had to take these steps. She was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
Dang, bro, so she might have got like a... Usually when that happens, I think they give you like life in a psychiatric hospital. Especially for a case like this. That not guilty by insanity, that's what they usually do. I'm not a lawyer, this is not legal advice though, guys. Also, I don't know if it goes like state by state, so I don't know, guys.
You're welcome to the Nassau
But it was something like that for my case, is what I'm saying.
County Court, where Judge James Daniel presides over the...
So I'm not sure if she'll ever get released, guys. Like, maybe she'll have to like prove her sanity. That's what they did with me, guys, when I went to jail. I had to prove my sanity. I had to go to a mental hospital for like a month or two. And it was better living conditions than in jail, but I went there for a month or two. And I had to prove my sanity, guys.
Trial of Kimberly Kessler, a 50-year-old woman who killed her co-worker and made the body disappear forever. Kimberly Kessler was charged in court with the first-degree murder of 34-year-old Jolene Cummings, mother of three. Jolene Cummings was reported missing in May 2018, and police began a futile search for her before realizing that she'd been killed by her co-worker, a dangerous woman who had been on the run for 2.5 decades. Jolene was supposed to pick up her children from her ex-husband, but never showed up, arousing suspicions as to her whereabouts. When the police contacted Kimberly, since they believed she was the last person to see Jolene, she gave excuses not to show up and refused to go to work. In court, Kimberly portrayed typical Karen behavior, throwing tantrums and yelling during court proceedings.
This is like one of the only ones that act like a Karen in court. Actually, the first one didn't. The second one did. This one is as well.
She was completely uninterested and uncooperative and had to be confined to a separate room at some point as she watched the trial via a video link. In a malicious attempt to be
she can't act up in there, guys.
Exempted from the trial, Kimberly Kessler embarked on a self-starvation spree, losing tremendous weight. She appeared in the courtroom looking extremely emaciated and had to be wheeled in with a wheelchair. Reports indicated that she dripped from 196 pounds to only 74 pounds. The judge, however,
What the heck?
Looked her tantrums and ruled that she
was
mentally competent for trial. The tantrums continued.
That's some extreme level of fasting, guys.
Get rid of the public defender's office. Yeah, exactly. Jordan Beard is Johnson's nephew. Jordan Beard is Jolie's cousin. Jordan Beard is Jolie's cousin. And I refuse this assigned counsel. I refuse.
Yeah, definitely Karen behavior, guys. The most Karen behavior I've seen.
Public defender's office.
Look at her, bro.
I have refused it. I refuse the public defender's office. They appointed Jordan Beard, Jolene Cummings' cousin.
When she refused to be quiet and allow court proceedings to go on smoothly, she was instructed to be wheeled out of the courtroom. As she was being taken out, she continued to speak at the top of her voice.
It got like a spit mask.
Sure, I can sit up here and I'm going to say what I want, when I want, how I want, which you silenced me for years. You've silenced
Hey, it's her fault for doing what she did, guys.
me for years. So let everyone know this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Her accusations were looked into but found to be untrue and baseless. It appeared that she just wanted to be able to represent herself in court.
Well, we went through and I said,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, guys. I don't think she knew the law there. I feel bad for her now, but
you know,
what's she saying about someone else's cousin? And I don't know.
Basis, and she said the same thing, which was he's related to, I guess, the deputy or director Johnson, which is just factually not true. So it was denied at that time.
The police officers also had much to say about her conduct
She doesn't look 74 pounds. She looks like 100 pounds here, guys.
in the prison, stating that she would violently refuse to eat, undress herself, smear feces on the walls, and even hurl it at prison officials.
She is completely undressed and has feces.
Guys, I was in jail and they did that quite often, guys. If they put you in that single cell, you lose your mind, man.
Smeared on the window.
Court hearings proceeded without Kimberly physically present in the courtroom. Her desperate attempts to hamper the rule of law were unsuccessful. Evidence was presented proving that she did indeed kill her co-worker, Jolene. Her search history showed that she had searched for co-worker guilty of murder missing person body not found before the incident, and Jolene Cummings no body, no crime. The sentence was given by Judge James H. Daniel.
Court will adjudicate Kimberly Kessler, defendant,
Yeah, Google saves everything you search, guys.
also known as Jennifer Marie Cyrus, guilty, sentence her to life in prison without any possibility of release or parole.
She was sentenced to life in jail without the
Yeah,
possibility
she looks mega sickly, like a cancer patient here.
of parole. You're welcome to the Vista Superior Court, where Diana Lovejoy is standing trial for conspiring to kill her estranged husband, Greg Mulvihill. Judge Sim von Kalinowski presides over the case. 45-year-old Diana Lovejoy was charged in court with conspiracy to commit murder. In court, Diana Lovejoy showed no emotions even as her ex-husband testified of the harrowing events that occurred when he was lured into a death trap by his wife and an accomplice, her gun instructor. Before the crime, Diana had reported to Child Protective Services that her husband had sexually assaulted her and that she suspected he was assaulting their 3-year-old son. This was brought up in court, but evidence showed that the case was considered false.
He had to go through numerous psychological evaluations. He had to see psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists. The unanimous conclusion was that this was made up, that he had not molested his little boy.
The truth was that Diana just wanted to be the one who walked away
Oh, look at the seals.
from the divorce with everything. She didn't want to pay Greg, her ex-husband, his $120,000 share of a house they jointly owned, and also didn't want to share custody of their only child. So she decided that taking him out was the best option. However, she continued to deny this with her accomplice, McDavid Jr., also stating that if he actually wanted to kill Greg, he'd be dead.
I fired 6 shots in the air, and once they started running, I ceased fire.
Marines are taught if they wanted to kill someone, 2 to the center, mass, 1 to the head.
Thankfully, Greg was not alone when the shooting occurred. He was with a friend who promptly called for emergency rescue. In no time, he was being examined by doctors who realized that the bullet had only barely missed his heart. Just a little closer, and Greg Mulvihill would have been dead. The police patrol remained on the
Wow, guys.
scene, fearing that there was a random shooter on the prowl for more victims, until they caught wind of what the real situation was. It was discovered that Diana had paid $1,000 to McDavid to shoot her husband. He lured him into the area, saying that he had some information that could be useful in helping him resolve the conflicts in his divorce case, and
$1,000, wow.
all that he was entitled to. But by the time Greg arrived, McDavid was somewhere in the bushes with his gun mounted and ready to take the shot. When Greg and his friend spotted him, it was already too late. Shots had been fired, and Greg Mulvihill was badly hit. As they placed a call to 911, Greg lost consciousness.
And we ran the other direction, away from the
What a sick thing to do, man.
gunfire.
Lying in the sniper position, shoots 6 to 7 more rounds.
As the judge read out the sentence of 26 years, Diana Lovejoy looked to her attorney in shock and then proceeded to collapse in her chair as her family members began to scream for her to be helped. The courtroom was immediately vacated, and emergency responders examined Diana before she was wheeled out on a stretcher to be taken to the hospital.
We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of attempted murder of Greg. We further find true the allegation that Diana Jean Lovejoy was vicariously armed.
She said vicariously, guys.
With a firearm.
Diana Lovejoy will be spending the next 26 years in jail.
Dude, imagine all the things she could have done to improve her life in those 26 years instead of doing something heinous like that.
You're
Shaking my
welcome to
head.
the Douglas County Court, where Judge Robert J. James presides over the trial of Sahara Tabriz Fakir, a 32-year-old woman who stormed into the home of a 66-year-old businessman, husband, father, and grandfather, fatally attacking him. Sahara Tabriz Fakir was charged in court with the first-degree murder of 66-year-old Jerry Wheeler. Sahara was tracked down and apprehended about a month after she committed the dastardly crime. Shortly after, she was in court for her first appearance to be briefed about her rights and for the charges against her to be read. And it started on a very bizarre note. Talk about top-of-the-charts Karen behavior.
You're charged with the murder of Jerry Franklin Wheeler. You understand?
Karen behavior.
In the Masonic courthouse, I understand that. I understand that.
She said Masonic courthouse, guys.
This courthouse is a cursed courthouse. Yes, I
Yeah.
understand.
Okay.
And if you are judging me, you're not God-fearing, Allah will have to judge you, and everyone else is not God-fearing. I understand that.
Everyone in the courthouse was beyond stunned as she continued to utter strange things in response to the questions asked by the judge. The judge, however, remained calm and unfazed as he continued to answer her questions. When told that she could apply to the office of the public defender for a lawyer, she shunned the advice and demanded to be released.
You cannot
Oh my gosh.
employ a lawyer, then you can apply to the public defender's office.
That's
for
arraignment, guys.
appointment of one at no cost to you.
What I said.
I'm just trying to inform you of your rights.
She's like, release me in this Masonic courthouse.
No, I better be released from that Masonic courthouse.
She continued to refer to the courthouse as evil and referred to other people as disbelieving, saying that some form of punishment and revenge would be meted out to them. She even referred to Allah as her lawyer and said he would defend her by speaking through her.
Do you have a lawyer?
Allah's my lawyer right now.
Are you
He's speaking to me.
Are you going to get a lawyer?
Allah is my lawyer right now. And if you do not release me, Allah will have his vengeance on you. Like he did in 2009 when he sent that flood.
It is suspected that she was referring to an incident in 2009 where she had an altercation with her probation officer and threatened to slit the throat of her probation officer, threatened to kill a deputy, and
What?
destroyed prison property. But the judge continues.
Oh my gosh. So,
And it will determine whether or not to proceed with this case. Do you understand that?
If they disbelieve, they better not proceed.
The judge also informed her that she would not be getting a bond. This she repeatedly asked why, giving a defiant attitude. Sahara Tabriz Fakir was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She was sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole in a women's correctional facility.
dang, bro. Like, comment, subscribe, press the join button. These aren't Karens, they're monsters. That's true. Violent criminals aren't Karen. That's also true. Thank you for watching, guys. See you guys next one. This year's a horrible thing. I know, right? Later.